Shabbat Shalom. Parashat Ve'era is a difficult parasha. It raises many questions, but the hardest part of this portion is the story of the binding of Isaac. No matter which angle we take this challenge, we are met with difficulty. A father who travels with his son for 3 days just to kill him. And that father's handling of his son's question, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering? This Shabbat, I want to touch on the subject of faith. Abraham has become the symbol of faith, and today we stand as people of faith. What can we learn from Abraham's faith today? Understand then that those who have faith are children of Abraham. So those who rely on faith are blessed along with Abraham, the man of faith. Galatians 3, 7, and 9. Today, I want to examine Abraham's faith from another angle. I think that the question is not about blind, consistent, unquestioning faith. For the scriptures tell us that Abraham has given up hope of a son from Sarah, his wife. The question is, what do we do with God's commandment? What you think in your heart is one thing. You can ponder in your heart. You can ask questions in your heart. You can doubt in your heart. But the question is, what action do you take in case of a commandment? What is the purpose of the commandment of the binding of Isaac? The answer is written in the Torah. Sometime later, God tested Abraham. Genesis 22, verse 1. It was a test to see if Abraham would obey the commandment. Why did God specifically choose this test? I do not think that this test comes down to the simple question of whether Abraham was willing to sacrifice to God his firstborn son. For all those people who sacrificed their sons to Molech were prepared to do so and to do such things. And many people throughout history have sacrificed their loved ones for the sake of faith, ideology, or country. I believe that Abraham's testing, which was much deeper and more complex than merely to see whether Abraham was prepared to sacrifice his son to God. In almost all the conversations between God and Abraham, there was one central reoccurring theme: God's promise of a seed, of a continuation of Abraham into a great nation, like the stars of the heavens. After years of waiting, the miracle takes place. A son is born to Abraham. Isaac's birth foretells the continuation of the family. The birth heralds God's promises to make Abraham into a great nation. The faith and expectation of Abraham throughout these years was not in vain. And now comes the most terrible commandment: to sacrifice Isaac, the promised son, to God. Isaac's death will reveal that God does not keep his promises. And this is Abraham's real test. What will Abraham's reaction be? Will he complain about the personal wrongdoing? The promise that will not be fulfilled? The illusions over the years? In addition, the unique wording of the commandment enhances the test. Then God said, "Take your son, your only son, whom you love, Isaac, and go to the region of Moriah. Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on the mountain I will show you." The doubt grows in the heart. Did Abraham correctly understand the word of God? Or is he about to lose his son, the thing most dear to him, due to a misunderstanding? Abraham has 3 days to consider this matter, to back out, to disobey. Today, the answer is known to all. Our father Abraham was willing to fulfill God's commandment without hesitation, without crying to the heavens in protest of the immorality of this terrible commandment. This may be the true meaning of faith in God, when we do not understand the commandments and yet hurry to fulfill them. In the believing world today, the emphasis is on faith. And the main question is, what are our goals? Is coming to faith the end of the story? Is it the supreme goal of an individual? I think we have a higher goal. in which coming to faith is the first step. Our coming to faith is not the end of the story, but it's the beginning. From this important step onwards, we are compelled to continue on, to turn the written word into a way of life, into actions that are life-changing, life-improving, and life-giving. Our goal is the salvation of all Israel. The concept behind Netivia is to show that you can believe in Yeshua as the Messiah and remain faithful to God, to His Word, and to the people of Israel, and to the Jewish tradition. Our work is important because we are the example. We are committed to preserve our Jewish identity as an authentic identity. We must be the proof that one can believe in Yeshua as the Messiah and at the same time remain faithful to Israel. We are promised that all Israel will be saved. Romans 11. We believe that every knee will bow down and every tongue confess that Yeshua is the Messiah, the Son of the living God. This week's Torah portion teaches me that I must trust and believe that this indeed will happen. And I must work towards this goal without any questions or doubt, without asking, will this happen? But rather, how can I help? The answer is to translate faith into reality, into everyday's life, to raise up and grasp that we are the representative sample, and people are looking at us. Our neighbors are examining us. They want to know what the meaning of our faith is and where it leads us. This test is in every aspect of our lives, from the way we behave in the family and to each other, to our relationship to the Word of God and the Jewish traditions. May we have a peaceful Shabbat. May we grow stronger in our faith and in the righteousness of our path. Shabbat Shalom.